God bless you, folks. Thank you for joining. We have been talking about people, Christian walk. And the Bible teaches us that if we walk in darkness, we have no fellowship with Him. The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. And so we see that this passage, then the message which we have heard of Him and declare to you that God is light. And in Him is no darkness at all. There's no darkness in Him. There's the Muslims, they kind of contradict each other because they have two versions on God. And one is that God was created through darkness. I was surprised to hear that because, I'm not surprised, but then surprised. But God was not created in darkness, nor was God created. God was always. And see, that's hard for us to comprehend as humans because we're limited to our thinking and the process because we only use maybe 10% of our brains. In the day of Adam, can you imagine? His faculties were moving at 100%. But, one thing we want to stick with is the Bible. And that's it, the Bible. When you begin to speculate things that are not in the Bible, then you begin to assume, and then you begin to believe in theory. And we don't want to believe in theory or what we believe or what we think or what we feel. We want to seek the word as it is. Now, of course, the word gives us a different reference to the word of God being symbolic or being literal or being prophetic. There's different things that we can see the word of God brings to us in knowledge and mystery, in poetry and history. It brings many things. And even Jesus spoke in parables. So if we really want God to teach us, then the Spirit is there to teach us and to lead us and guide us into all truth. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So we're talking about the light. If we walk in the light as He is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. Our fellowship with one another is because we are on the same page, the same thinking, the same word. There's no division. There's no contradiction. There's no separation. There's no you know, argument, but you all agree, come to an agreement if you can. Otherwise, you search the word, and the Bible teaches us to seek the word and to rightly divide it and to compare scriptures with scriptures and spiritual with spiritual. And the way the world is going, and the religious, evangelistic, and all those types of denominations and, doctrinal, we see there's so much confusion, and there's so much division, and so much confusion. God is not the author of confusion. It tells you, the word of God tells you, he's not the author. Who's the author of confusion? The enemy. Satan is the confusion. He brings in confusion from the very beginning of time, of man's time. And when God had commanded Adam not to eat of a certain tree, he says, everything you can have and everything you can eat of. But this particular tree of good, of knowledge, don't eat of it. Don't eat of it. And yet, when the woman came along, the serpent would beguile her and change it all around. Say, hey, surely you shall not die, because he said, if you eat of that tree, you shall surely die. He told Adam, you shall surely die. And the serpent, on the other hand, she says, surely, tells the woman, surely you shall not die, but you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, knowing is actually knowledge, having knowledge of good and evil. So why did she feel that she had to know of knowledge of good and evil when she already had the knowledge of good? See, the enemy has a way to deceive you and bring deception, because he will show you the good in going out and, laying with women. And today it's very common for men to lay with men and women with women, and it's become normalized in today's society for men to have sexual relations with another man. And so the enemy paints a picture of a beautiful thing and a beautiful relationship and a beautiful thing of going out and exploring and drinking and the bubbles in the wine and the foam in the beer and the sniffing of the drugs and the taking of the ecstasies and the uppers and the downers and the heroin. And he shows a pretty picture of party and fun and having an all night party and ending the party with women and I mean, he shows those things. You should know have knowledge of good and evil. But really, the only thing that the knowledge was going to give them was for evil, because they already knew the knowledge of good. But in comparison, now they will know what's good and what's bad. They didn't need to know what's good and what's bad. All they needed to know was what was good, and that's what they knew already, what was good. And so the enemy paints a pretty picture. But he doesn't paint the picture of you getting up the next morning next to some strange person you didn't even know. You don't even know their name. It might be one person, it might be three men in the same bed with you, not knowing who had you that night. It may be that you have stayed with 2 or 3 women that night and all your money is gone. That's all you know. You wake up with a tremendous hangover and you don't know where your money is and you don't know who these women you took home to. You don't know that you undressed a transgender in your bed thinking she was a woman, and you don't remember anything afterwards. You don't remember the ODing that you took, the heroin or the cocaine or the ecstasy that you took. You took so much of it that it puts you in a coma. You don't remember what happened. See, he doesn't show you all that when you were driving down the road and you were under the influence and you hit somebody else and possibly killed somebody. See, he doesn't show you that part that's going to happen. And you not remembering how it happened or who you hit or what you did or how much you took or did you kill somebody or not. You wake up in shock in the hospital. Maybe you woke up paralyzed. Maybe you woke up, with missing leg. Maybe you woke up knowing that you killed a car full of people. Maybe you woke up. Maybe you didn't wake up for a week in a coma. See, he doesn't show you that part. But surely you shall not die. He has a way to twist the words. Yea, the darkness hideth not from him. We are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. He's telling us what we're not part of. As a Christian, those things that I just described to you are the people that are in darkness, not in the light. Because 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, be ye not unequally, yoked together with unbelievers. You're entangled, you're in yoke, your friends, your buddies, your pals. You are unequally yoked together with the unbelievers. And these are the people that are taking you to these places. They're taking you to the outer darkness. They're taking you away from the light. You want to know if you're in darkness? You want to know, are you living in darkness? Are you living in the light? because the darkness comprehends not the light. It cannot comprehend the light. Therefore, you are unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship? Tell me, brothers, what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?